Hey YouTubers, Grimmy Dragon here, and once again it's review time, and today we are taking a look at the Transformers Power of the Primes Jazz figure. Jazz is back and a new combiner body, and it's a couple years later than expected. I think everybody was expecting all the 84 group to be out during Combiner Wars the way they were going. But it's okay because Jazz turned out nice and it's a new mold. So, hooray for that. But as you can see, his vehicle mode is this nice race car. Very reminiscent of GoBot's Crasher, actually, with the shape and everything. So that is nice. Maybe we'll get a Crasher Fracture repaint in the future, one can hope. And all in all, this is a nice toy. It's a good vehicle. Rolls well. Lacking paint in the back. What else is new? And no painted hubcaps. That's a problem. Need to paint those, Hasbro. But other than that, it does look nice. And they did add some Jazz-like emblems there. They got an Autobot symbol with a very controversial bit of Cybertronian text underneath. Although you will need a microscope to actually read them. Or some kind of magnifying glass. But yeah, it does say Autobot Jazz. It has the 4. So yeah, it has what it needs there. On the front, the 4, the Autobot symbol, the blue stripes, nice painted, well, this is translucent plastic on the hood, and the inside is painted blue to give the headlights a nice effect. Meaning all this white is painted on, which is quite amazing. But yeah, all in all, looks good, and he does look pretty good. With the other Autobot cars from Combiner Wars. So if you have those, this Jazz will go very well with them. But in any case, let's do some comparisons. First and foremost, we'll bring in the Reveal the Shield Jazz, which in all honesty I still think is the better version of Jazz. I like that little car feel because it works so well for him. So yeah, I still like the Reveal the Shield Jazz better for the character, but this one is still pretty good. And naturally we gotta bring in G1 Jazz because, you know, it is G1. And yes, it's a different car than what G1 is, but it still works. Still has all the highlights of the character. You know, so it's all there. Just wish the hubcaps were painted. That's all. So, yeah, I like it. Like it quite a bit. So, in any case, let's get Jazz into his robot mode and see how that is. Just gonna adjust the camera a little bit because he's gonna get kind of big. So first thing we need to do is kind of loosen up everything, especially the hood because it tabs in very tight. Actually, we just undo the arms first. And then everything else will come apart very easily. So put this down and push this up, push it in, and then push it through, and that'll go in. We can then raise the head, pull the legs apart. They come apart very aerial bot like. Except I don't like that they open up from the inside. That makes it very difficult to transform him back. But we can flip out the feet, flip out, yeah, get them out, close those up. Push this back down. Like so. 2 tabs in here go into slots on the top. And then just fold down the hands. And we're done. And Jazz looks really nice. It does a great job of looking like the character, bringing out all the details of him. And since he doesn't have the door wings, he looks a lot more like on the cartoon here. So yeah, it's a nice look for him. Let's get a good look at that face, shall we? And as you can see, it's very accurate to the character, although mine does have a little bit of paint bubbling, which is unfortunate, but it's there. Still not bad. Got some paint on the shoulders to make them look black, which is good. I wish the hands were also black because that's another feature of Jazz. You know, and it also breaks up the arms a little bit. But the rest of the paint is actually pretty good. It looks very much like Jazz. I think the hands are about the only detail that I'm not too fond of. And it's a little sad because they are actually separate pieces. So yeah, that's a problem to deal with, but not a big one. Now for articulation, he does have a ball jointed head, universal shoulders, although they do go out kind of like that, which breaks things up a bit. Ball jointed elbows. Not really any wrist swivels, even though they are on a mushroom peg, but the doors kind of block it. He has a waist joint, which is nice. Ball jointed hips, 90 at the knee, and that's about it. So, pretty good posability. He definitely has enough to move around with. And all in all, I think he's pretty good. His accessories do include the gun, which is a nice silver gun. I do like it. And his prime armor, which I forgot to mention does go onto his vehicle mode rather nicely as a boost, but it can also peg onto his chest, which I guess works. And you can also take off the little cover, which serves as a smaller pistol, even though it's translucent. And you can place your Prime Master inside. And this time we're using Vector Prime, so time travel go. And it fits in pretty nice, although the armor does look kind of silly on him, especially when you turn it to the side. That is not very attractive. So, yeah. Now, you can attach it to his back, and just plugs into the port that the vehicle mode would use. So you got that option. Although, yeah, it's kind of sticking on his butt, which, yeah, not so great. So I can't really say that the Prime Armor is a win here. Still, I guess they did have to do something with the combiner hand. But yeah, Jazz is a good figure. He, like I said, goes very well with your Autobots, especially the Combiner Wars ones. And I think it was a good attempt at making them. But let's get some comparisons in, of course. We gotta bring in Reveal the Shield Jazz, who's a little bit taller, but does a good job. And you can see they are very similar in build, well, at least in styling. So this one does match Jazz's style pretty well. And of course we also got to bring in G1 Jazz, who, you know, started it all. Really does bring up a lot of similarities with that one. So I'm very happy with it. Now we do need to get him into combiner mode, because you know what? He's not a part of a specific team, so there's no special combiner that he becomes part of, so we'll just get him with another combiner. So we'll start off with the arm mode. So to get him into that, got to unpeg this, bring down the head, bring this back up, and lock it into place. Bring the arms in, like so, and they will, there's a couple pegs right there that they slot to. And then we flip up the feet, put that together. This, we get the hand, pop the prime armor back into it. We'll make it a right hand actually. And that car bit doesn't really sit on securely, but we plug the hand into the port, and then we got an arm. Now we need a body to put it on. And as it so happens, I have Ultra Prime here. So we'll just bring this up and put him on Ultra Prime. And what do you know, that works very nicely. It actually matches pretty well with Prowl there. So yeah, these two would probably go well together with the Battle Prime that was released, the white one. So I could imagine those would work out pretty well on him. But yeah, I do like this. He functions very much like any other arm would, so that's good. But next up would be leg mode. So let's get him off of Prime. Get that back over here. And we'll bring Prime back in a little bit. Let's just get this back on. And for Jazz's leg mode, we'll get this done. Take the foot off. And here's where the trouble can begin, because getting these legs together is a little tricky because of the way the panels actually open up inside it. Okay, that actually went well. So this part goes right here, and these two pegs here go into these two ports here. Very easy. Done. Now we'll just take Mirage off. Get his foot part, because Jazz's combiner hand does not become a foot. And we'll pop this on. And voila, we have a leg. Now, here's a little bit of a problem. Jazz's leg mode is actually a little bit taller than the standard. So, if we turn him around, probably see it better. But yeah, Jazz is actually going up a little higher than Sunstreaker there. And yet, I can't really put Sunstreaker's legs down to extend him, because then Sunstreaker's going to be the taller one. And I mean significantly taller. So yeah, that doesn't work. So honestly, I'd say Jazz is not really a good leg mode, which is a shame. But you know, that happens. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's still a great figure otherwise. And he still makes a good arm. But in any case, I don't think you should really get Jazz for a combiner piece. You get Jazz because you don't have the reveal the shield version and you need a good Jazz for your classic self. Or you just want to get all the Power of the Primes figures. Or just because Jazz is a decent toy. And he is a decent toy. I like him. So, I think they did a good job with him. In any case, hope you've enjoyed this review. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye out there, whatever you are.